Hey yo, what is poppin'? It's your boy. Now, you guys might be a little bit confused about the title to this video, and there's a reason why I did it. Now, a lot of us ask for certain things in the game, right? Things we'll never be able to do. And they tell, you go on Reddit, post YouTube videos, oh, we need this. This would be so good if we could do this. But there's a reason why the devs aren't doing it. And I figured I'd make a video showcasing it because I finally was able to get with my buddy and kind of put things together to kind of show the community why you're not going to be able to get certain things and why the devs probably aren't going to implement certain changes into the gear. Now, I am going to give all of you a heads up. This is modded gameplay. And the reason I say this is modded gameplay is I specifically made this character, this one right here, and had my buddy mod it specifically how I wanted it modded to test certain things in the game. Okay? You have to keep this in mind. This character is specifically modded for testing purposes only. Okay? So, before you go blowing me up in the comments, this is the only trickster I have, for one. I created it specifically to mod it because I had an idea for this character. And there was no way to physically make the build work. Now, granted, I did actually make this build work potentially, but the damage was so low that I scrapped it, and me and my buddy kind of sat back and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, the purpose of this video is to showcase one of the things that, why we're never going to see it, okay? So, a lot of you have said you want gear where you can roll God-rolled attributes. Understandable. I've said it also. I've said, wouldn't it be fucking wonderful if you can roll perfect attributes on every piece of gear? Wouldn't it? Tell me how awesome it would be to not give a fuck about the pair of boots or whatever you have and be able to wear whatever you collect as long as it had those God-rolled stats, right? Even the tops and bottoms on the legendaries, just getting those 3 perfect stats. Well, we're going to talk about that. As I dive into my trickster, you're going to see some damage. The reason the gun is doing this much damage and why you see those mods, I'm going to go into here in a minute. First, I want to go over the gear, so hold your thoughts on the guns there for a minute and we'll get into it. So, as you can see, I'm running Ugake. Serves no purpose to my build at all. None. Literally, when I made this character, it was the first set that I had sitting inside my inventory. I told my buddy, mod it the fuck out, and I wanted to go on a testing spree. I had the armor put to 100 mil because while I was testing out certain builds, I felt a little squishy, and I wanted some survivability. So, don't pay attention to the 100 mil on the armor. What I want you to pay attention to is the anomaly power, the cooldown reduction, and the close range damage. These are not supposed to roll on this headpiece. Okay, but it's a god roll. Okay, it is a god roll. The attribute percentages are because the gear is at 60, is at level 60. And at level 60, that is exactly what the cap is for those with maxed out shards. So keep that in mind, okay? Because you're going to see a lot of stuff that probably never thought of before, and it's going to change a lot of perspective to some of you. So, you see how the anomaly power, 102k, cooldown reduction 12.5, 10% close range damage. Cool. Moving down. Chest piece, anomaly close range cooldown reduction. Again, triple. Anomaly close range cooldown reduction on the pants. Again, triple. So far, we're 3 for 3. Gloves, anomaly close range damage cooldown reduction. Again, 3 for 3. Or 4 for 4. And boots, anomaly close range damage cooldown reduction. You are looking at perfection if we were able to roll it. Okay? This is perfection. And the reason why my anomaly power is at 1.2 mil is because of how much anomaly power is actually stacked on the gear. So, if they were to raise the level cap to 60 on gear, this is what you're going to be sitting at on anomaly power. So, with that being said, unless they amp up the enemies to add us extra tiers in world tiers or CTs, you're not getting level 60 increases at world tier or CT 15. It's not going to happen. Most of you need buffs in order to even reach this potential. Okay? So that's saying something. Now, as you've seen, all this is, just like I said, this is all max. All those stats are max. So when you go in here, global cooldown reduction, 62.5%, which means my skills sit on retarded cooldowns. Okay? Again, which is a reason why you'll probably never see this in any game at all unless they do some overhauls. So what we're gonna do, I want to go ahead and show you something, right? We are gonna just go and do, you know what, fuck it, we can go do a simple fucking Archways of Enoch. We're gonna set it onto a CT15. Now, while we're in the loading screen, it gives me some time to explain. The reason that the gun is sitting at what it's sitting at is because I did not want the gun to one-shot everything. I do not like one-shotting everything. I think it's stupid. I lose a lot of fun out of it. So I wanted to set it just to the right boundaries of where I still feel like I'm doing damage and I'm still being able to enjoy the game, while being able to also implement my own kind of build diversity into the game. So, what you're about to see is my Thor or Raiden build that I theory crafted up for the Trickster. I call it Thor and I call it Raiden simply because of all the electrical damage that is potential of being put out. Now, I'm going to try to make this video short just because I kind of wanted to show you guys the premise of why we're never going to see our gear ever reach these boundaries and these thresholds, is because it makes one character so stupidly strong that unless they overhaul the game and all of the like just everything in it, look, boom. Like I said, I wanted to be able to see I'm still doing damage. How most of you would see as normal damage. But like I said, I wanted to show you guys what it's like from this kind of perspective. Because I noticed something watching a video earlier. I was watching somebody's video. I'm not going to put them on blast just because they seem like a really cool content creator, and I'm not going to put them on blast, even though they say guys and fucking amazing like a 12-year-old boy. Not going to knock them for their content style, right? And I noticed something in one of their build videos that they had released here. And I was looking at their Trickster, and I seen one of the cooldowns on the Trickster. And I was looking at mine, and I was like, hold up. I didn't even have level 60 gear on at the time, and I had everything maxed out across the board, all pieces of gear. And they were all level 50.
The gate opened.
Every piece had cooldown reduction on it, right? Which you can't do. At least not with legendary
An
pieces.
obelisk mechanism in the middle.
And their cooldown for one of their skills was stupid lower than mine. Like, we were basically using the exact same build, and my cooldown was at like 10.5 seconds of the skill that I'm talking about, and his was like at 6 seconds. Now, I'm not gonna say again who it was, and hey, maybe it wasn't even a trickster. Again, I'm not gonna put that person on blast. Just because I'm not that kind of person. The only time I'll put somebody on full blast is if you're an ignorant fucking content creator that shits on everything when you don't know what you're talking about. So anyway, I'm sitting there watching it, I'm like, there is no way you shaved 3 seconds off of that while we're running the exact same build. No fucking way. And I'm talking about, I even have a maxed out skill tree on this character, and still was beating me on this time frame on the cooldown. There's no way. No fucking way. So, it made me want to tell you guys this. When you guys watch these videos, and you watch these people that put on, like, builds and such like that, y'all really need to pay attention to, like, their skills and shit. You really gotta pay attention to like the skills and blah 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 that they have, like what the percentages are, what their damages are, because I see a lot of people in the community that'll be like, oh, you're modding, you're a fucking piece of shit, you're trash. To be fair, I only use this character right here offline. I don't play with people online. My lobby stays closed. And if I do play with anybody online, it's usually people from my community who ask me to play if, you know, they want to play this game. Other than that, if you've ever seen me at a matchmaking lobby, the only time you'll ever see me at a matchmaking lobby at all is if I play with one buddy of mine and he leaves his lobby open. That's it. You'll never see me at a matchmaking lobby. Specifically because I know that the community doesn't like people that play with mods. So, I can't inject you with mods. I'm not modding myself, my character's modded. My buddy that's on PC, he does the modding. And even he doesn't go into, like, lobbies. None of us do. None of us do. Me and my buddy, neither one of us go into lobbies unless, you know, it's with people who want us there, or we just play alone. And that's out of respect for the community, right? That's just, again, out of respect for the community. But as you can see, this build right here would never pass. But you see how fast my cooldowns are while I've been playing this too. If you've been paying attention, you should be watching like all the cooldowns. You should be noticing like, even with the damage that I'm doing, like with the anomaly power alone, when I do this, it ramps them in the air, and I also have the pain transfer and such, so that the enemies themselves will take like, you know, damage and such. But I also have a mod on there where during that whole duration, they will periodically take damage that equals out. And with the anomaly power that I have added up, it sounds like 4 million damage. So that's why if you see something get killed off of that, that's why. Which is another reason why you'll never be able to see that unless they overhaul things. As you can see, I'm shooting these big behemoths. I'm not killing them with one shot. A lot of the reason you're not seeing me die also is because I have all this shield generated that's just not going anywhere. I don't take damage at all, so that armor that you see on there just serves no purpose. Even if I wanted to get rid of that armor, I could. I could literally get rid of the armor. Boom, boom. See? So easy. And this is why you'll never see it, because it takes away so much of the difficulty of the actual game that the devs would never implement, allowing you to be able to build that way. And I understand it now. In the beginning, I was not sure, and me and my buddy were talking. I was like, yo, we need to do it for science. He has the ability to mod, and I was like, you know what, for science, let's fucking test it out. And to be fair, I understand why. Like, your characters would be so stupidly overpowered for nothing. These are just... Granted, I am like 10 levels above what the cap is, so... See? But like... This is why you'll never be able to see this kind of gear in play. It's because once you do it, you're not going to need a team. You'll need higher difficulties. And
now get out of there.
They're not implementing that, at least not right now. Like a lot of people have said, this game's not a GAAS. Hold on. Very loud for no fucking reason. Okay. So, like I said, this game is not a GAAS. It's just a regular fucking game. They're implementing things on the side. It's not a fucking live service. So you're not going to be seeing all these kinds of updates coming in. Which is upsetting, to be fair. It's upsetting, but it is what it is. We knew what it was coming in. You know, we can't expect it. It's literally just a game you play. Once you're done with the content, move on until they decide to drop out new content. And like I said, this video was mainly and specifically to show you guys why we'll never see it. And let me elaborate now that we're out of the match and now that I've actually done everything. Because if you look at it, like, Look at the damage numbers I did, right? And it's all basic. It's not like I did anything fucking stupid amounts of damage at all. Like, I didn't. I just made this character to where it was playable and did what I wanted it to do. I made the build how I wanted it to play. And I made it to where it surpasses gear expectations and limitations that you'll never be able to get. Now, granted, you could potentially get these 3 rolled if you did all purple gear all the way down the line, right? You could get all these stats, and to be fair, this build slaps. It really fucking slaps if you were to get all 3 rolls, just like I said, and all the mods that I have on here. If you were to get all of this on here, you would be invincible. You would do shit tons of damage, and you would basically slap the shit out of everything. The only thing you wouldn't be able to pull is the double strings of Gauss here, and the only reason that's there is we wanted to see if it stacks. And for what I've noticed, it does not. And when he got off last night, we never changed out the other mod, or at least I never went and changed out the other mod. So that's why you two see 2 strings of Gauss. But other than that, I mean, the build slaps. It's great. You're almost invincible because of how your shield plays into this. Your shield, when you throw out, what is it? When you throw this out, every enemy gets caught in it, and it gives you shield. And with all the cooldowns that you're gonna have, just look at it. It's so stupid. You literally just keep casting it out. And if not, you need that little bit of shield. There you go. You have that. You can backstab. You can play it how you want, and however you want to play it, you'll literally keep generating shield, right? But that's besides the point. This wasn't meant to be a build video. What it was meant to showcase is if this was per se an Akari set, you would have the whole Akari set bonus, plus you would also have all perfect God rolled stats, which would then in turn break the game to where you're doing more damage than what 2 or 3 people would allow. You're allowing yourself to surpass, and I could understand it because people want that power creep, but at the same time I can't understand it because the devs want you to have a more difficult time, and that's understandable. It is. It's understandable. There's not too much of a huge difference. It's, you know, you get a little bit of stat bonuses, but for like certain stats, they have a hard cap anyway and won't go past certain points. So there you go. There's that also. Like status, you could have 30% status on everything, cap out at 78.9. Even though it should potentially reach 80%, it won't. It'll literally just cap out at fucking 78.9. So, with that out the way, I wanted to show you guys this. Like I said, I modded this character out with my buddy strictly for the science of it. I was curious. We have no way to find out what it's like running all full God-rolled fucking stats on our gear like that. Especially if we are using legendary gear. Which in this turn I'm not using the legendary potential. But that's fine. Like I said, I wanted to show off what it would be like if we were able to actually get to roll off the top, and I don't see them being them allowing us to do so. I really don't. I don't see them allowing us to do it. I think it would break the game from the way that they want us to. You would go in to play with matchmaking and potentially just be able to one-shot everything with whatever. If you're using certain builds, like if you're using an Ash Blast build, you take it from somebody who also did the a build on this on a Pyro, which I didn't showcase because I did not enjoy it at all. I was literally just walked into a room, pop, pop. I was so bored, I just literally walked through every mission, and it served nothing. And that one has the same setup, but it has 1.4 million anomaly power right out the gate. Never had to use a single bullet. Literally just walk through the mission. It was just... there's no point in having a team when you do it that way. So for people who play the game, you know, solo, hey, maybe you would like that. Maybe you would like that kind of thing. To me, I think at the end of the day, it gets a little bit boring being able to walk through and nuke an entire room. Some people don't. I don't judge. But end of the day, I did this for science. As I've told people before, we do run modded lobbies and such like that on occasions. And I do have fully legitimate characters, but I did make this character and mod it specifically for the science. And yeah, let me know what you guys think, man. Like, if they should implement this into the game to where we can roll this or not. What do you guys think? Fucking drop some knowledge up in the comments. We'll have little discussions and such. See what you guys think about it. But anyway, it's your boy. I'm out.